Hey, what's up you guys? It's Simon. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are actually celebrating 100 uploads, which is actually insane. I can't believe I have literally made and recorded and edited 100 YouTube videos. That does not feel real. Technically, this is our 101st video, but you get the point. So basically, I thought it would be fun to do, of course, another draw with me, but I also wanted to do an answering your assumptions video because I've already done like 3 Q&As and I feel like they get repetitive after a bit. So I thought it would be fun to do an answering your assumptions video instead, because it's sort of a different way to get to know me without me answering the same questions for those of you who have been here a while. So yeah, let us get into them. I asked you guys to send me your assumptions on Instagram, both on my story and in a post. So the first one we have are a couple different ones actually, and it is here are my assumptions. Some are kind of evidence-based. 1, you're from the South or a Southern state. 2, your name is Simon, parentheses AE, question mark. 3, you dye your hair a lot. So the first one, I am actually not from the South. I know I say y'all a lot. I'm actually from the Midwest. I picked up y'all from, check please, I'm not gonna lie, when I started reading it in high school, Biddy says it so much in the comic that I just started saying it and I could not stop, and I have not been able to stop since then. So no, I'm not from the South. I'm very close, but I'm actually from the Midwest. The second one, my name is Simon. The AE is actually AES, and it's short for aesthetic. When I made my Instagram back, and I think it was like 2017, you know, like Tumblr kid aesthetic thing that was such like a huge trend, so I based my Instagram off of that, and I know that it's very confusing. A lot of you think that my name is actually Simone or Simona. It is Simon. And I have considered changing it before, back when I was at like 1K on Instagram, and all of you like jumped to tell me, no, don't you dare change it. So I was like, oh, okay. So there's that. And yes, I do dye my hair a lot. We'll get to that in actually another assumption. But yes, I definitely dye it very much. Right now my hair is fried and it literally won't hold color because I have dyed it so much. So there is that. The next assumption we have is you've always loved art, and this is very true. I have talked about it in Q&As and other such videos. I drew on my wall as a kid all of the time, so I have just always been really interested in art. I wanted to be like a fashion designer and an interior designer and then a concept artist all throughout when I was very young, so I have always loved art. The next, we have 1, you prefer sunny, warm days over rainy, cold ones, and 2, you have a lot of trouble when it comes to the story of your OCs, and 3, you have at least 3 pets. So this one clocked me pretty much. The first one is the only one that I would say is incorrect. I am actually a very sunny, or not sunny, I'm a very rain-oriented person. I literally have candles that are meant to smell like rain so that when it is sunny outside, I can block everything out and pretend that it's a very cloudy, rainy day and still stay productive. I don't know what it is. It's just that the rain is something that is so calming and comforting to me. Even right now as we speak, it is still July, it's very bright and sunny, and I am just, you know, holed away in my room with all of my curtains closed because I'm like, I wish it was more cloudy, I wish it was raining. Every time it says on the news that it's raining and then it doesn't rain, I get like livid. I love the rain so much. There are times when I prefer sun, and that's usually like by mid-February when it's been purely cloudy for like since September, and I'm just like, all right, maybe a little bit of sunshine, give me some vitamin D. I'm starting to get a little bit of the big sad, but other than that, I do really tend to prefer rainy days. I have so much trouble when it comes to writing the stories for my OCs. My husband, we usually create characters together a lot. I don't talk about them on this channel just because for the most part, my characters tend to be very private for me. and him as well, so we don't really share too much about those types of OCs. But when it comes to me writing the stories for them, I have such a difficult time, and I often will have him ask me questions so that I can sort of build my characters based on the questions that he asks me, because if it's just me sitting down and making a character, I can't do anything. Like right now, I'm currently in the process of creating a character. All I know about him is that his name is going to be Otto. That's it. I also, obviously, like I said, want to create a webcomic at some point in my artistic career, and I'm having a lot of trouble because I cannot decide on a storyline, and I cannot decide on even an aesthetic or a name for the character. So, having a lot of issues with that. And the last one is, again, about the pets. Actually, spot on. I have exactly 3. We used to have 4. I'm planning on doing a video based on them at some point, where I draw them as D&D characters, because if you guys are fans of Brian David Gilbert, he did a video about how to calculate your pet's hit points, and I did that. So I want to draw them as D&D characters very soon. I have 3 pets right now. Their names are Ginger, Leonidas, and Manny, or my dad calls him Chewed. They're 2 cats and a pug, and Leonidas, as far as I'm concerned, is named Loki. He has beautiful green eyes, and I call him Nidus because I refuse to call him Leonidas, but oh my goodness, when we first got him, I called him Loki religiously, and everybody was fine with it except for my brother, so we had to change it because he is technically my brother's cat, so I'm still sad about it. And the last one for the post itself was that I assume you're a coffee person, which is wholeheartedly correct. I do tend to dabble in tea, but I really can only drink like matcha and chai tea, or tea that's been like heavily sweetened. I will just drink straight up tea on occasion, but like if I'm gonna go out of my way to get tea, it's gonna be one of those things. But I will drink almost any coffee so long as it's not like horribly sweet. I like it to be somewhere in the middle between slightly bitter but like mostly sweet. That way it's not like I'm drinking death. But yes, I do consider myself to be more of a coffee person than a tea person. Okay, so let me pull up the ones from the story. So the first one we have is you like or want to try herbal teas, actually, which is a new one that I didn't know was here. I do, of course, like I said, I like to kind of drink tea. I just don't consider myself a tea person, but I would really want to try herbal teas. I'm trying to be more of a tea person because I am already very hyper, and obviously a lot of coffee has caffeine and a lot of tea does as well, but a lot of tea also is not caffeinated, so I am trying to make the switch over to tea and try to become more of a tea person. The next one clocked me so hard, and that is easily distracted. If you have listened to any of my videos, you know that it's so easy to derail me and get me to go on a tangent about something that is just completely irrelevant. Like you guys will see in the fandom video, I literally went so off the rails all of the time, but I leave that stuff in there because that is just who I am as a person, and I feel like it adds, like, you know, some of my personality into my videos. So even if I do tend to ramble and go all over the place, at least I'm talking about something that's fun or that I care about. If I go too crazy, like when I had to do a voiceover for part of my Ohuhu review because I was just talking in circles, then it gets a little frustrating. But yes, for the most part, I am easily distracted. It doesn't bother me too much, but sometimes it be a little much. The next one is you love chocolate, and this is very true, especially dark chocolate. I was not a very big fan of dark chocolate when I was a child, but the minute I turned 18 and became an adult, I was like, dark chocolate only. No milk chocolate for me, don't want it, don't like it. Dark chocolate, especially dark chocolate that's slightly like melted, like just barely melted. So good. I'm a huge fan of the dark chocolate Dove candies with almond in them. Every time I'm like, you know, on my curve, TMI, but it be helping cramps, and I love it. I literally buy like the huge Ziploc bags of the Dove dark chocolate because it's just so good and it helps and it's delicious and I love it. So yes, I do love chocolate. The next one is you like bright, vibrant colors, and this is true to an extent. It kind of depends on the time of year for me. I tend to go for more like warmer, like muted tones in the fall and the winter. But in summer and spring, I'm like all of the bright colors, all of the pinks and the bright blues and stuff. Yellow is a color I love all year round, any shade, because I feel like it's really easy to sort of pair things with yellow, if that makes sense. Yellow goes with everything, whether it's very bright or very muted. So yes, I do like bright colors, but only during certain times of the year. So this next one is Simon is your favorite character from Lord of the Flies, which is very true. Of course, that's where I got my name, so yes, I do like Simon. He is my favorite character. Although, it would not be a stretch to say that Ralph is also my favorite character. I do like Ralph a lot. Okay, so the next one is you have blue hair, and I actually don't. I used to have blue hair, I think about, it was some point after February, so let me go on a tangent and go through the horror that I have done to my hair this year, because I feel like you guys would be interested to hear what I've done to myself. So January, I got a perm, and I did it by myself at home with a kit that I bought from Walmart. Brad Mondo, please don't come for me. But yes, I did try to perm my hair at home, and it did not hold, and it smelled so bad. And luckily I didn't fry my hair, it didn't fall out, it just did not hold the perm, so it wasn't horrible. But my hair was in relatively good condition, which is why 2 weeks later, or actually no, I dyed my hair black very shortly after, so it was still in January. I dyed my hair pitch black so that I could match my husband and we could be kind of like goth-y, girl, boy, whatever. And so, yeah, I dyed my hair black, and then 2 weeks later, I was like, I don't want to have black hair anymore. I want to go back to my colorful hair. In the past, like way before this year, I've done crazy hair colors. I've done pink and purple, which was actually a mistake. It was supposed to be like a lavenderish color with like a tint of pink in it, and my hair ended up only taking one of the two colors we mixed together, and it ended up really cool. I really like that hair. It was like a fade from pink to purple. I've done yellow, or not yellow, I've done blue, I've done green, I've done blue again, I've done bright red, I've done like my whole head bleached, I've done all these different colors, so I wanted to do that again. So 2 weeks in February, after I had just permed my hair and then dyed it black, I bleached it, and it went okay. You know, I didn't have any weird colorings. I had to bleach it, I think, twice and then tone it once, but it was light enough that I was able to go back to having very brightly colored hair. So I went electric pink. You guys saw my Tune Me challenge. I used, I don't remember exactly which color. It was like the glow in the dark pink one from Arctic Fox, and I had pink hair for a solid week. And then everything rinsed out, and I was like, that's cute. I'm out of hair dye, and it was $16. I'm not going to do that again. I have leftover teal dye from when I had dyed my hair teal the previous year. So I dyed my hair teal. I had the ends light blue, which is what the profile picture that I have is inspired by. And this is where it gets bad. So very, very recently, I spent too much time on cottagecore TikTok, and all of those ginger girls are so pretty, and I wanted to be a pretty ginger girl. So I still had blue in my hair. It was like 99% rinsed out, and I had just had blue around the roots. And if you know anything about color theory and dyeing your hair, if I wanted to go orange and I had put that orange on top of the blue, my roots would have been very gross. They would have been like a very weird grayish, nasty brown color, and I didn't want that. I wanted a very pretty, bright, you know, ginger hair. I wanted it to be orange. So I bleached it again. I bleached it again. Um, I bleached it again after shampooing it literally 4 times in a row because I read if you do that, it will get the color out of your hair, and it didn't. So I bleached it on the same day, which you're not supposed to do because you're supposed to have generally kind of greasy hair when you dye it. That way it is protected by all of the chemicals and such. But to get around that, I soaked my hair in coconut oil. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do that. So it didn't work. I bleached my hair and I still had blue in it, and also this is when we had the absolute nightmare and I was crying because I had also did, my whole roots, and my hair was 4 different colors because it was not only blonde, but it was also blue and still brown in some places and orange, and I cried. I was so mad. I was like, this is the worst. I can't go anywhere. I look so stupid. And I waited about 2 days before I bleached it again, and the blonde did unfortunately come through. I got all of the blue out for the most part. So then I dyed it orange the same day. I don't know how to explain it. It was very gray, not orange at all. It was blonde. It was just like this But yeah, if someone were to be like, hey, do you want a lizard? I wouldn't say no. So yeah, I am technically a cat person. But yeah, that is all for the assumptions. There were actually 2 questions, so I am going to answer those very quickly. Um, it was just, do you have any tips on digital drawing? And how long have you been doing digital art? So, any tips on drawing, I would have to say practice, but more so, rather than just telling yourself, like, oh, I just need to practice, you need to look at your work and see what exactly it is that you need to practice on, because just drawing every day isn't going to be enough to improve your art. Like, I'm someone who sometimes gets stuck in that mindset, like, oh, if I draw every day, I'm magically gonna get better. And in some ways you will, because you will start learning muscle memory and just looking at forms and seeing how you need to improve, and you will start steadily improving even if you're not actively um, practicing and looking at references every day. But I would say definitely just take a critical eye to your work and see, like, what do I need to improve on? Is it color theory? Is it form? Is it perspective? Is it anatomy? Just things like that. And then try to hone in on what it is that you need to improve on, and then work to find references and different ways to fix that, rather than just trying to improve on everything all at once, because that is not going to work. And then as for how long I've been doing digital art, I think did it specify digital art? Let me check. Yes, how long have I been doing digital art? So it's actually been 10 years. The first, I think I started in 2011, so not quite 10 years. Or did I start in 2010? I'm not 100% sure, so it's either 11 or 10 years. I mostly have been taking it seriously, like genuinely trying to improve, I think, for the last like 6 to no, probably about 6 years. When I first started, it was just for fun. I will be doing a video where I roast some of my very old art. It's actually on my DeviantArt. Some of the actually exactly some of the first digital art pieces I've ever made. I know exactly which one of them is the first one I ever made. So I am going to be showing some of that, of obviously, my earlier work that I did when I was actually in middle school. I think it was either 6th grade or at the end of 5th grade. But either way, I have been doing it for a very long time, and I plan to continue doing it for a very long time so that I can improve some more. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing me answer all of your assumptions. I hope that they were entertaining, or that maybe perhaps you were shocked by some of them. If you did like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and also I want to give a big thank you to my patrons Elise, Thompson, and Duran. Thank you so much, Duran, for joining the Patreon. There's going to be a ton of cool stuff out here in the future. I'm planning to roll out postcards and stickers by the end of the year. I just have to figure out the logistics of it, and see how I am going to do shipping, because I'm only used to Etsy, and Etsy does all of that info for you. So once I get all of the technical aspects about that, those will be getting added to the Patreon. There's also tons of cool stuff already on there, like coloring pages and wallpapers, early video releases, and things like that. So if that is something that interests you, please go check out the Patreon. It will be linked in the description. I love you guys so much, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!